Hi friends, today we'll be discussing about flat feet. Small story, a cutie story about the story of fallen arches. So flat feet basically is loss or lack of arch in your foot. So what is the basic function of the arch is to actually take the force which comes across to your leg and dissipate them to the foot. So in the center or bone, if you can imagine this as the foot, there's a center bone called as the talus, which communicates with your leg bone, tibia would communicate out on the bone. This is called as a keystone. Now in the stone collapse usually you get a flat feet. Just a bird's eye view. So there are two types of flat feet actually. One is a flexible flat feet and the other is a rigid flat feet. So a flexible flat feet is something which appears only on weight bearing. அதாவது காலில் வெயிட் கொடுக்கும்போது மட்டுமே அந்த அந்த arch வந்து disappear ஆகும். That's called as a flexible flat feet. And the other is a rigid flat feet. Whatever be the time, whether you're weight bearing or not weight bearing, the arch is definitely not there in your foot. That's called as a rigid flat feet. The outlook of both these things are totally different. Because in a rigid flat feet, more often, there is usually a coalescement of the bone. The bone on the usually fuse ஆயிருக்கும். That needs a more surgical intervention. So you first get yourself diagnosed whether you have a flexible flat feet or if you have a rigid flat feet. So a conservative correction of the flat feet usually has two parts. One is about correcting your footwear, an orthotic based correction. The second thing is about doing some physio and getting your exercises right. So the first thing about orthotics is what we usually recommend or what is usually available all out is a ready-made silicone insole. Now you can actually make out that this is the outer segment of your shoe and this will come on to the inner side of the shoe. The outer segment is fairly uniformly thickened insole. However, if you actually see the inner side, there's a small bump inside which creates a small medial arch to your footwear. Now this tries and recreates a small medial arch to your footwear, and this is quite a pliable structure. You can actually notice that you can definitely fit inside any shoe and try and correct your medial arch. Now what we are doing here is try to build you a small medial arch which is custom made to your foot, to your foot's anatomy as well as your structure. Now if you can actually see that bump is created to the shape of your foot, because not all arches collapse the same way. Now this goes directly inside footwear into the inner aspect of the footwear, and it is stitched and given to you as a custom made prosthesis. Now if you can actually look, this one already has inbuilt medial arch which helps in correcting the flat feet. Now what we look for in the footwear is the flexibility quotient. It has to be flexible enough to allow minimal movements, but at the same time give you some stability to prevent instability. That's step number one. The second thing is about the volume and thickness of the medial arch which you are building, because a very high volume again cramps your feet and prevents movement, and a very low volume again offers a lot of play across the joints in your foot and again gives rise to early arthritis as well as instability across your foot. So the right orthosis will definitely be a custom made one. And when there is a rigid flat feet, even we try to correct the flat feet even during your leisure time, your passive time, even during a sleep. And that prosthesis usually fits into your foot in like a KF or brace or something like that, and then try and correct the flat feet all throughout your sleeping hours as well. The second segment is about some amount of exercises to correct your flat feet.
Namaste. In this video, we learn some exercises to correct the flat foot and to reduce pain. Ideally, you can include all the exercises in your daily routine. Ensure there is no pain during and after the exercises. If you feel any pain or discomfort during the exercises, stop the exercises and consult your physiotherapist. Stand with your hands resting on a wall at your shoulder height. Now bring your one leg forward and the other leg extended behind you, which is going to be stretched. Press your both heels firmly on the ground, keeping your back straight. Bend your front leg and push yourself into the wall. Now you will feel stretch on the back side of the foot. Hold the stretch for 30 seconds and relax. Do 5 stretches on each leg. Stand up on your step by placing only your forefoot only. Support the wall. Slowly lower your heels down until you feel a stretch on your calf muscles. Hold this position for 20 seconds and relax. Do 5 stretches. Quadricep stretching. Stand on one leg with knees touching each other. You can hold a wall for support. Grab your foot with your hand and gently pull your leg backwards. Push your chest upwards and push your hip forward. Now you will feel stretch on your quadriceps. Hold the stretch for 20 seconds and relax. Do 5 stretchings for each side. Hamstring stretch. Stand next to the chair. Place one leg on the chair. Stand straight. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Slightly bend your standing knee and try to touch your foot with your hands. Now you will feel stretch on the back of your thigh. Once you feel the stretch, stop moving and hold the position for 20 seconds. Now relax. Do 5 stretches on each side.
Ready? Start.
Stand with your feet directly underneath your hips. Make sure to keep your toes in contact with the floor during the entire time. Now roll your weight to the outer edges of your foot as you lift your arches up. Hold in this position for 5 to 10 seconds. Then release your foot back down. Do 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Toe risers. While standing, press your right big toe into the floor and lift up your other 4 toes up. Bring down. Then press your 4 toes into the floor and lift up your big toe. Down. Do each lift 5 to 10 times, holding each lift for 5 seconds. Then do the exercises on your left foot. Calf raises. Stand on one leg. You can hold a chair for support. Now lift your heel as high as you can. Hold the upper position for 5 to 10 seconds and then lower back down. Do 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Do the same exercises with other leg. Double leg squat. Place your feet slightly wider than the hip width apart. Clasp your hands together. Keeping your chest up, engage your abdomen and slowly shift your weight into your heels and bring your hips down. Bring your hips down till the thighs are almost parallel to the floor. Hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds and relax. Repeat 10 times. Double leg squat with TheraBand. You can also do the double leg squat with a TheraBand wrapped around your thigh, which will add resistance to your exercise. Repeat 10 times. Stand up with your feet shoulder width apart. Extend your both arms out in front of you and clasp your fingers. Straighten your hands. Extend one leg out in front of you. Your foot should be in the position. The fingers are pointing towards the ceiling. Now, slowly push your body down to the sitting position. Hold this position for 5 seconds and relax. Hip abductor strengthening exercise with TheraBand. Fix one end of the TheraBand to ankle and the other end to the table or chair. Stand straight and move your leg outward against the resistance of the TheraBand. Hold this position for 5 to 10 seconds. Then relax. Do 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Towel curls. Sit on a chair with the towel under your feet. Root your heels into the floor. Now curl and release your toes so as to pull the towel towards you. Keep your feet on the ground during the exercise. Do 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Ample range of motion. Sit on a chair so that your feet do not touch the floor. Use your foot to write each letter of the alphabet in the air, leading with your big toe. Arch muscle strengthening exercise. Sit on a chair and cross your foot over the other thigh. Wrap a TheraBand around your foot and fix the other end with your another foot. Raise your foot up slowly against the pull of the band. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Lower the foot back to the starting position. Do 2 sets of 10 repetitions.